Gotcha.
So at first, I just want to like kind of play you.
Yeah.
Uh, I'll play you with like maybe my crappy bigger, and just to see how you play and like think about defense, neutral, all that stuff,
Yeah.
and then from there I can give you pointers, and
Awesome.
and then to finish it off, we can go over some like other Vegas we play together. Do you have a Vega that you like have in mind that you study or something?
Oh, yeah, definitely Arlieth.
Arlieth, okay.
Yeah. Ollie J Money, he's a really good friend of mine, and he's here in Columbus. I also like he teaches me a lot of stuff too. Um, but like they're so high level that they can style, and I think that what I struggle a lot with is I don't have the situational awareness to know when it's my time to do something like that.
Uh,
Um, like Piran Peachan was telling me the other day at CEO, she lost to Rugalitarian, who he plays Vega very like fundamentally.
mhm.
At least against her, like she told me yesterday because she Discord voice called in while I was streaming and we were going over some stuff, and she was like, "Yeah, all he did was nothing," and so I'm not sure, and this is you being who you are and being a pro. I'm not sure if like maybe I should focus more on doing less and being more fundamentally sound, or I mean it's I just want you to kind of see what I do and tell me where my weak points are. I think a lot of them are is that I don't capitalize on my opportunities to punish, and I don't know. I get so anxious when I'm playing. Like I freak out,
Mm.
and that's something I need a lot of help with. Like
I think
so.
so. Let me just address those one at a time.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
uh, our Liath would be a good one to look at, I think. But I think we should also look at um other Vegas that are like traveling more. Like
Yeah.
per se, like there's this one. I think his name's Jimmy One. He's real.
Oh, I love Jimmy One.
Yeah,
Jimmy One's great.
he's great.
Yeah.
He,
Doom Snake as
Duke
well.
Snake's
Yeah.
really good too.
Tourniquet.
Yeah, so those three, you can pick any one you want today. I'd like to go over one of their replays and kind of guide you for towards what they're doing, because I think they don't style as much and they just focus on like being more fundamentally sound. Like you were trying to ask me which one
Yeah.
you should go for, and I honestly think like the Vegas around the level you're talking about, they like to do like flashy stuff that
Mhm.
will get them
Yeah.
killed if the guy knows about it. And like
Exactly, if they know. Yeah.
most of the
Yeah.
time they know about it, but there
Yeah.
are some people, like I think super top level, even though people are inexperienced to Vega, I feel like people covered kind of how to deal with Vega setups enough that they know like some characters can EXDP when they see them flash, or
Mhm.
certain things. And then if you get hit by the EXDP, a lot of characters get Oki because he gets hit at like a weird angle that
Yeah.
leaves you close. Um, so I think we should focus on seeing getting you more fundamentally sound, and then also um, the next thing was you said you freak out in public, or not in public, but like when you're competing, right? So,
Oh yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so that's like kind of something I see from even my girlfriend when she's like in in public and she's playing casuals. Like she'll be doing good to a point, and then there's like a little bit of pressure they put on her, and then it'll make her,
Yep.
yeah, like spiral. And like it's
I
okay.
feel it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. It's not just girls, but like I'm trying to like relate to you as best as I can through like
Sure.
my
Yeah.
girlfriend
Yeah.
experience. And then I also remember being really nervous too, and like nerves happen to everyone for one. So
Mhm.
don't be too afraid of your nerves. What you should see your nerves as is like it's go time. Like that's one thing
Yeah. Harness it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's one thing I learned. And like nerves sound scary, but and it's not a very great feeling, when you're feeling it. But like you should learn to like embrace it, and like when you feel those nerves, when you start rewiring your brain to see it in like more of a positive light instead of like, oh, like
Yes.
I'm gonna do bad or something like that. It really does change a lot. Like your mindset is probably the most important thing in such a simple game as like Street Fighter 5, because like
Absolutely.
yeah, you'll get the combos down like faster than you'll get that kind of mindset down. You know, like the mindset that takes a long time to work on. You'll be working on that for as long as you're
Forever.
playing. Yeah,
exactly.
For as long as you're playing the game, really.
I think a lot of it is, and just a quick fill in here, like, when I talked to Persia and she said, okay, like, you know, I would like you to do this. And I said, yeah, absolutely. And she said, Alex is going to be your coach. I was like, this is amazing. So I immediately got in the lab and I spent a week. Almost every day I spent about a half hour to like 2 hours trying to clean up my inputs. And I overcame a lot in those first few days. I had so much trouble with player one side critical art for the whole 2 years that I've been playing.
Yeah.
I can do that now.
Oh, nice.
But then I started dropping EXDP. Like, and I think what happens is like, okay, so I could sit in the lab and I could do them consecutively 10, 20, whatever times in a row on each side, no problem. But when I get into the match, I'm so scared of dropping. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I end up doing it. So I kind of realized, okay, I've cleaned up my inputs the best as I could at that moment in time. And then it was like, if I can't do them during the match, it really doesn't matter how many times I do them in the lab. So like you were saying, like, I think it's... I think my confidence in myself will build once we start like learning and you're teaching me stuff and I'm like implementing it, and then because a lot of it is just a lack of confidence, like just being defeatist.
Yeah,
you know?
Confidence is really important in the game, and I feel like you get more confidence from doing things repetitively. Like there's a lot of things like I'll feel not confident about, like say when learning a new character, or like say there's a certain aspect I need to work on, and I'm like, oh, like this guy's better at this, and then I'm not, you know. So like you're gonna have those confidence issues, but you have to like trust that if you work hard enough, you can overcome it, you know. So
absolutely, I just need help focusing on, you know, on specific things. Like you giving me homework, for example, like that is going to help me so much. Otherwise, I'm kind of feeling around in the dark. Like, okay, a lot of my friends will weigh in and tell me work on this, work on that, and I try to pick each thing apart that they give me, and I do. But I just get bogged down because there's so much, and I know that it's, you know, you can't bite off more than you can chew. You want to take like one step at a time.
Right.
Focus on this, focus on that. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. So we can do that for sure. What's your CFN?
It is G as in George.
Okay.
Y as in yellow. O.
One sec. G as in George, Y as in yellow.
Z as in zebra. And then A. And then underscore R Y U J I.
Oh shit, hold on.
I could
hold on, it just went away. So G Y Z A.
Gyoza, like gyoza.
Oh, gyoza. Okay.
Yeah, gyoza Ryuji. I could have just told you.
Yeah.
Gyoza underscore Ryuji.
Ryuji. Okay. So Ryu.
You and Carolyn eat. So like, we fucking know.
We know gyoza.
Yeah, gyoza's my favorite.
Yeah, gyoza's amazing. Gyoza underscore Ryuji. G-I.
J-I.
J-I.
R-U, yeah, Ryu and then J-I.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
It's a play off Goda Ryuji from Yakuza Kiwami 2.
Oh, I never played that game, but it looks cool.
Brian's like, oh my god, this is such a stupid sim, man. I'm like, it's brilliant.
If you played the game, you'd think it's brilliant.
Yeah, he has. He hates my puns.
Oh, the puns. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can I not?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a fan of puns, so don't worry.
Oh man, I can't help it. They're fun.
They are, for sure.
The worse, the better.
So just don't go too far. Then.
No, you gotta know when to pull back.
Yeah, dude.
You know.
Don't go down the James Chen rabbit hole. You'll never come back.
Oh, I love his puns.
I do too. I'm just kidding.
They're terrible.
They're terrible, but they're so good.
Oh, so good. Okay, here we are.
Okay.
Are we ready to go?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, we're mirror matching?
Mirror match.
Shit.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I just want to like kind of understand where you're at, and then try and see if I can figure out how to apply some things to help you. You know.
I appreciate that so much.
Let's see. So I'm trying to remember everything about Vega. I feel like the main one that you want to be in is, of course, like your claw mode, right? That's like your Pokemon one, but
Yes.
you know the differences, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think of it. I mean, the way I've kind of figured it is that you're defensive with the claw on,
Mhm.
and then without the claw with bare hand, that's when you can kind of go in because most of his clawless buttons, actually all of them, can cancel into like Crimson Terror.
Yeah.
And then you can get your command rounds going.
Mhm. No, I agree. I'm just trying to let's just kind of go over some basic ideas I have with Vega right now.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And then we can play a little bit. But
Sure.
so the way I see it is like neutral is like such a broad like term, and like I spent I spent many years like teaching people. I think since like 2014. I stopped like last year, but I used to teach for cross counter.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so there'd be I'd have like student after student, and I'm like teaching them neutral, and then like you start to see that like neutral's not just like you space your button, like you make sure you space it right. That's good and all, but it's like a lot of how you should see your neutral is like kind of based on the opponent. Does that make sense? So like say like there's like general philosophies you should think of like when you're playing neutral is like I try and think of like first the character, right? Like I see a character and I'm like, this is how I counter this, that, and this, right? That's just the general matchup stuff. And then it comes down to like when they play a certain character, you somewhat can see like an archetype, right? Like say Vega, there's two styles. There's the ones that throw sweep a lot, and they do a lot of random things, a lot of B skills.
Yeah.
I forget how I do that fucking. But they always.
Yeah. If you hold it down, it goes all the way out.
Yeah,
and if you tap it, it's just the short one.
That's the okay. So there's those kind of Vegas, and then there's like the Vegas that just do like this whole game, like.
Yeah, aggressive pokes. I'm a big fan of.
It's somewhat aggressive, but at the same time, like I'm just trying to like. Before we get to that point, I'm just trying to say like the different styles, right? So there's like the lamer Vegas that don't take too many risks. They'll poke you when they see fit. So if you can see characters and then also see like how you think they should be played, you kind of can generalize like what kind of player you're gonna play. Like say like a Mika, there's like the Fudo Mika who is like pretty poke heavy. He doesn't really take too many risks, right?
Right.
And then there's like like Luffy or something, like they'll hold drop kick, they'll jump more. Luffy's gotten a lot more solid with his Mika approach lately, but like I'm just trying to generalize like two different playstyles.
Yeah, like exactly how you use that character.
Yeah, so like say instead of like just walking up like start of the round, you poke them. You should try and see it as like what are they gonna jump? Are they gonna dash? Like should I be buffering at first? Should I be like trying to check them? Like should I be trying to focus on answering? Because like.
That's what I've been trying to do. Yeah, I just some days I react quickly, and other days I'm just a deer in headlights. I don't know, like I don't react. And
like you also have to give yourself some leniency because like CFN like there is some lag here, but like if you can train yourself to react most of the time online, you can definitely do it offline. Like that's kind of
you're right.
The mindset I have with it. So try and not get too down on yourself when things don't work out, but
Gotcha.
You still try. So when you think of neutral, think of it as like okay, I have to lead, so we go to the next round. So think of it as like neutral depends on like kind of first interactions. Like are they gonna do they dash? Do they jump? Okay, they don't, or I answer them, right? Say that they don't do that kind of stuff. Then you can can focus on playing on the ground, right? Sometimes people will try and throw out like buffers when they see you walk forward. So like say like I'm playing like I don't know Cammy. There's a lot of Cammies that will like when they see you walk forward, they'll like buffer fierce, right? So they'll just try and do certain things like that. When you see them do that, you should try and like you should not just want to get in your range and hit them. You should like kind of play around the range and like try.
Like shimmy them?
Yeah, you can try and like whiff punish them or just change your timing. Like if you're not confident in whiff punishing them, just change your timing. Like don't just have like one direct timing because like
that's what I do. I'm too predictable.
Yeah. Like this even just this like if the purpose of like this movement kind of stuff that you always see is like it's to mix up your timing, two to make like your hitbox smaller because like I'm sure but like when you're crouching your hitbox is bigger and then when you're standing it's smaller. So like say like I'm I'm not sure if you knew that, but
No, I actually didn't.
so like yeah, that's why you'll see like people do this kind of movement. It's like kind of
Micro walking.
well,
or...
just moving back and forth because it helps them not get hit by buttons as easily. Like say like I'm walking at the cami and the cami hits fierce, she'll be more likely to have the fierce blocked right here. And oh wait, she's more likely to get the fierce blocked when I'm crouching. But if I'm standing, I have a good chance at whip punishing. You see what I mean? Like so, crouch.
So it's not just a shimmy, because every time I see someone back and forth, I always assume it's a shimmy.
A shimmy's like when you're trying to bait their throw. So
yeah.
But you can also use like shimmy in that regard in neutral. But like for me, it kind of like muddies the reference, and then I start getting confused. You know, like.
Sure, yeah.
For shimmying, it's like this is just how I comprehend it. Like shimmying just as like baiting throws, and then I guess what you're saying for like shimmy and neutral, like you're kind of just like I just feel like it's like jockeying for position, but it is like.
But what you're saying makes sense. You're shrinking your hitbox. Hitbox, right? Not hurtbox.
Your hurtbox. Yeah.
Oh, hurtbox.
Hitbox is like off, but yeah, those are hitbox.
I see.
Yeah.
But also you're changing the timing of your pokes so that you're not as predictable, not as easy to whiff punish.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you really want to get kind of greedy, he has a really good like.
I do.
Yeah, he has a good jump. So like if you have a good.
Yeah.
If you can distract them with like the neutral,
that's what I try to do. Yeah.
And then like they start buffering. Those are some good times to jump, but like it's weird because like if I'm teaching someone like from like SF4, like I would say like you would want to like save like jumping to like you kind of don't want to jump too much. But in this game, I feel like Vega, since he's low tier, you do have to take those risks sometimes to get like the big reward, right? And then you get like all that, right? But
Yep.
But try and
I don't do it enough. I really don't.
Yeah, it's good that you don't, because then then you can learn how to not. Then you can learn when to do it like more appropriately. I think jumping's the best when you have a good lead. Like say you can say you jump, and then even if they uppercut you as an anti-air, you still have the life lead. Those are kind of good times to jump. I don't
like you're changing your game plan, so you're kind of throwing them off.
You're throwing them off, and it's also risk reward wise. So like say like you have more health in them, and you get DP'd to like now you have like the same amount of health. So that's a good risk because you're just even in the health. You're even in life. But say your jump in lands or they block it, you can like pressure them, right? Or you get a free jump in. So think of it like that. Those are good times to jump. I don't like start around jumps too much, because like some people are just straight up looking for it, or it's usually best not to just jump at the start of.
It's almost a meme. I mean, it really is. Like
it's like you. That's like what you try and tell like your friends not to do that. That kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? So jumping is good at those kind of times, or when you have like a good read. I would say save it more for clutch moments when you've like when they're really scared, but don't make it too obvious. Like if you're walking away a lot, people can tell like the only thing you're in range for is like your slide or your jump, and then they can just block at certain times, block your sweep, and then just react to your jump. Those are good times to dash too. Like say you're in this mode. Those are good times to like do this. But we'll get to that in a bit. Let's just slowly tread this water because we're getting pretty deep right now.
Oh, here, kill me real quick.
Okay. You kill me. Yeah, go ahead, kill me.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you gotta get the round.
Okay.
There you go. Just jump in and hit heavy kick. Like just hit heavy kick over and over, like neutral jump.
Oh, okay. Neutral.
Yeah, just hit me like with the heavy kick over and over. Just jump. There you go. Alright.
And I gotta aim.
I think with Vega, it's best to aim for their head because you're trying to hit them. You're trying to hit them before they have time to answer you. So like say like they're standing. Yeah. This is better. Like if you have claw, this is
jump heavy punch. Yeah.
Because like even when you're crouching, like I can still hit you. So like crouch a little bit. Go ahead, crouch. Oh shit. Let's see.
Maybe.
Oh, I guess. Interesting. Well, anyways, the point is like, say like,
He's so buggy.
I guess, but I think it's just his hitbox doesn't go that low. The main point of that, like, if you are trying to jump like that, you're trying to hit them before they have time to answer you. Like, say they have an uppercut.
I see. Okay.
They sometimes it's hard for them to like late react in an uppercut. You're a neutral jump. I wouldn't recommend that too much. It is good to like maybe throw bait. Like, say you're trying to like close the round. Maybe once in a while that's good. But you don't want to do that too much. Like you want to focus. Like if you have a good lead, there's no reason to take the extra risk in doing something that's like a maybe when you can just sit here and like throw them or like shimmy them, you know, like.
Or yeah, just let him die trying to get to you.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Like
It's like that first advice you gave me was like, don't go YOLO.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah,
It's like
it's like the differences between like the stylish and the fundamental, right? So
that's right. And I, the weird thing is like I panic when it's the easiest time, and everyone will always tell me like back off, let him die trying to get to you. But I don't know, I'm just a very, very impatient person by nature. So this is something that I need to train myself to be better about, is to be more patient and to know, okay, hey, look, you did all your work, now back off and keep them out. And
exactly.
Let them make mistakes trying to kill you. It's a confidence thing too. I just for some reason like don't have the confidence to be like, okay, I did my part, now I need to back off.
That comes through training though. Like
sure.
Don't forget that like you hear these things, but you have to really practice them to get it to work. Like I've been realizing that even more with myself. Like say I'll watch something in a video, I'm like, oh, that looks easy, but like there's been like studies lately that are like something with our psychology is like you can't really do something unless you practice it, right? Because you're gonna have that initial like weird feeling in your hands because your muscles aren't used to it. Like there's no muscle memory, so like you need to really build muscle memory, and then that'll help you hold on to the lead. And it's really like kind of restructuring your brain. Like I've had that problem too, where like like with Cammy, I go in too much. Like say I had the lead, I'll like EX dive kick when I don't need to. Like there's things like
just to finish it off.
Yeah, exactly. Like say I make them like block something and then I just immediately EX dive kick, but they're just as soon as they get hit by medium kick, I've had people just like hold straight up because it's like that predictable and they'll just like come back. So so it's really about teaching yourself to breathe. Like breathing is really important, and it kind of gives you an anchor for when you're feeling those things. Like you should think of like you should have like what is it, like mantras? Yeah, not mottos, mantras. So you want mantras in your mind, like mine are like breathing and trust yourself. So those are like the two things I'll tell myself when I'm like playing. Like, yeah, like I have like a mental coach thanks to Red Bull, but like that's
awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, shout out to Red Bull. So like you
shout out, yeah.
So you need to like those are some things that help ground you. Like you breathe, like having the mantra there just helps you to remember to breathe and then to trust yourself. So
and be mindful. Yeah.
And it automatically makes you mindful. So like just by thinking that way, you're more mindful. So when you're feeling that way, you need to practice calling out to your mantra, which will help you to breathe, and then it'll help you to trust what you've been practicing. So like trusting what we've been going through so far and what we'll go through up until ECT, right? So keep that in mind, and that'll help you a lot, especially when you're around a bunch of people. Like I don't know, I'm pretty sure you've been to ECT. I think I've seen you there before, but
oh no, not that one.
Not that one. Okay, maybe. All right. Anyways, so when you're at these kind of events, like I forget what EXO Academy did for the other ones, but I think they were at premieres. So so naturally premieres have more space. It's a little easier to breathe. What you're gonna be around at ECT, it's pretty cramped. You're in like a hotel ballroom, right? They do the best they can with it, and it does look nice, but it is cramped. You're gonna be feeling a lot of anxiety from people. Like I had a lot of problems, and I still do sometimes with just social anxiety. Like I had a lot of social anxiety from growing up, and That doesn't, yeah. And then like when you're around all those people, like it's a lot. So
It is.
when you keep those things in mind, like say you visualize them, if you practice doing that, it really helps you to see. It's like you're seeing it before like you're doing it, right? Like you see that like, oh, there's gonna be all these people. I'll be cramped at my pool station. There'll be all these people around me watching me, maybe cheering for their friend or something, right? And you have to keep that in mind and like not let it like rattle you randomly. Because like at Tokyo Game Show, the last one I went to, I was playing this guy Otani, and he plays Akuma, right? And then as I'm playing him, it's like an important like round, and then like I hear someone pop off really hard, and I'm like in Japan, so like
Oh God.
I naturally didn't expect people to pop off, you know.
Yeah.
So like that really threw me off, but just keeping those kind of things in mind help you a lot. Like just assuming in your mind that like just kind of play out a scenario where like people are just being loud. So like
Oh yeah.
when you're playing and like say someone's just randomly loud, they're hyped for the boy, it doesn't throw you out of like what you're doing, and like it helps you just stay in the zone, you know. So
Yeah, I usually listen to music. Like if I can't listen to the actual game,
yeah.
'cause I have a fighting itch, so I can plug into my stick. But you know, like you never know at a tournament. Like sometimes there's a splitter, but there's no headsets, and I don't want to like fiddle with anybody's setup. So like I just put on music that keeps me calm, like something that's hype, but at the same time like keeps me calm, so that I'm mindful of the pace of the match, and then.
That's
so
really
I could listen to I could listen to something fast, but that might make me, without even thinking, that might make me try to go in too much. Like, so I have a couple of songs that are like pretty like chill, and at the same time, like I put them on, I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go. You know, so
That's good. That's actually
I have to tune people out. Yeah.
that's a good thing. Like that, you're already a step above other people. That's good. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're playing, and then let's get back to the Vega part. So
Yeah.
So remember to keep people in mind, like play styles, right? And then also think about how people can counter what you do. Like sometimes this is good. Like doing this twice in a row is good sometimes. Like if they hit a button. So like say like there's one thing you can do here. Let me see if I can do it with Vega. So do stand medium punch and then do it again. Like do it twice in a row.
Oh yeah, this is a frame trap actually. It's a very good neutral. Like I kind of use it as a fireball, and I tell myself, okay, now you keep doing this. You're annoying. What are they gonna do? They're gonna jump. So sometimes I'll react to the jump, and I'll either air throw them or I'll roundhouse and slide or something like that.
That's good.
And then there are days where I just like I know it's there and I don't react to it. But we all have our off days, I think. So.
We do. So what I was trying to get at with the stand medium punch, it's good that you're already going to that element of it. That's good. That's like the first fundamental thing, I think. But what I was trying to get at is like people will find counters to you mashing stuff. So like at a higher level.
Good.
So like so say like you do stand medium punch twice. Like try and do stand medium punch twice in a row.
Stand twice.
Yeah. So like say this works if someone's like if they get hit and they press a button or something, right? You usually should hit their second one, right?
Yeah.
So one thing people can do is like they'll walk back and buffer. So do stand medium punch twice again. If you're like do it a little bit further.
Right. You mean max range. Yeah.
So like there's stuff like that where like they'll punish you. And I think it's important to know, like say you do one, maybe take a step back, come back in, and then do it again. And then and like just to kind of like take into account that might be a thing. And it just helps you to kind of deal with people that have good buffers, like say like Cammy, the Shotos have good buffers and stuff. This is a good way to like piss them off and kind of annoy them.
So do this, like you said, so one, and then step back, and then come back. So like one. Oh, that's wrong. How do I step back?
Yeah, it's a spacing thing. So like you want to take a little step, just a little like tap back.
Okay, tap.
But like it's a spacing thing. So like you're trying to aim for like the max range, come back out and then come in, and then swipe them again. Like that's a good like way to change up your timing against people that have like fast buffers. But say like they have like a they like to throw out crush counters to deal with their problems. So like say like they say like they're just trying to hit out. They're just trying to hit you randomly. You should wait. Like do your stand medium punch and then like take a step back and then wait for the crush counter. And then you see it come out, and then slide.
Whip punish. Oh, okay, okay.
But not just do slide, but like you should look for the button, and then like say you take a step back or something, like the scenario like that. So like the scenario.
Yeah.
The scenario I'm thinking is like a Nikali kind of thing. Like a lot of Nikalis will get hit by like medium punch, and then or like just a button, and then take a step back and hit them with roundhouse, right? So I think it's good to like. Just mix up your timing, like give them room to do stuff and figure out what they want to do and think of a counter. Like this is one thing you can do in your own training time, which I think you will need to do with like the amount of time we have. So you need to break down characters like in like what they can do against your character, right? So like say like just like general scenarios like neutrals, anything like a neutral scenario, right? Like do like stand medium punch. What are like some common things people do? Like they'll jump after they block something, they'll take a step back, hit roundhouse, those kind of things. Like sometimes you just should do stand medium punch, walk away, anti-air, or like whip punish them. And then when they're used to you doing those things, when they're used to you blowing them up, they'll have to start walking forward to try and get close. Then that's when you can start being a little annoying and like slash them coming in.
Yeah, gotcha. Catch them on their walk in. Yeah.
But you have to like really deter them from trying to take a big risk, because like if you don't do that, if you don't like anti-air and stuff, you're as good as your ground game will be. Like they will feel like they can just jump and like negate your neutral, right?
Right. You have to control the air. Yeah.
You have to control both, especially as a Vega player, because even though you have the best pokes in the game, you have to remember that everyone sees Vega in that light. They see him as like, oh, he's this character that is gonna out neutral my character. Like he
So
just
I gotta attack from the air.
Exactly. So you have to, you as a Vega player, you shouldn't focus on being stylish. You should focus on like just draining them. So it's like you just want to like slowly like just suck the life out of them, and you need to do that by like just being slow and like handling each approach, because they're gonna jump. Like so you need to stop them from jumping, and then they have to walk at you and deal with your annoying pokes more. But if you're just flailing around, you're just flailing around. You need to have purpose with your buttons, and you need to have purpose with like what you're trying to make them do. And that's like basically what neutral is. Like it doesn't matter if you walk up and you hit them, like what is happening after that, and then what is happening like before that. Basically, like, are they jumping when I get close? Are they pressing buttons when I get close? Can I even get close and hit them, or are they throwing out a button? They're like just filling out those things, and will help you decide where you should go. Did I anti-air them? Okay, they probably feel like they have to walk at me and do something, but you have to figure out what they're trying to do, because a lot of the time people won't try to play big straight up in neutral because it's too scary, you know.
Yeah, so they know that if a Vega doesn't have like highly dependable air-to-airs and anti-airs, then the match is as good as theirs, because if you're not anti-airing, then why bother staying on the ground? Just jump in.
I guess I wasn't describing the second layer. I was trying to describe better. Like I was trying to like describe. So we got past that first part, right, where you should have anti-airs, but the second part is like I was trying to say, like, even though they feel like they can't jump at you, like say that you do stop their jump-ins, they're going to try and do the next best thing, which is either they're going to probably buffer or dash. Like those are the things that like can just kind of rob Vega real quick, right? So
okay, so you're saying layer 1 is to anti-air, and layer 2 would be watching for the buffer and dash and controlling that in the neutral.
Yeah, so like sometimes you can even just hold your space. Like this is just scary in its own, because he's so fast. Like you don't really have to press anything. Like you can just walk and block, and then like kind of figure out what they're doing, and then it'll help you decide like, hey, should I just keep walking and blocking? Hey, should I present like a quick safe wall, like with a crouch medium punch? I like crouch medium punch a lot. I think that's a good button, like especially as you're walking and blocking a lot. But just get used to like spacing it like either max range or like at a range where like if they walk in, it won't be like too close, right? because
Yeah,
I believe
yeah.
this is negative to an extent, and even if like they can't punish you, they can use your negative frames to walk in at you, right? So like
Oh, absolutely.
say like
Yeah.
they so do your crouch medium punch, and then like say I just walk in, some like it's
Because I'm still recovering and recovering.
yeah, yeah, like
frames.
you're in like
Yeah.
your block recovery frames, right? So
Block recovery. Yeah.
I forget what they call it, but it's just like you're basically you're just recovering from your
Mhm.
the block frames.
Yeah.
So what else? So yeah, think of it like that. Like I would say focus on stopping the jumps in the dashes because those are the kind of people you'll run into early on in bracket. Like
That's right.
usually you'll play that kind of player the first round, and then the second round is like either like it could range from like mid tier player, pretty good player, pro player, Tokido level, that kind of stuff. But like
Right.
there's those first ones that like you need to get past, and like you those are the ones that prevent that like make people go 0 and 2. Like
Bro, that's my struggle because, like, I'll even tell you just in my local scene, I would say we're at around 20 to 30 people. I can play so well against my friends that are, high plat to mid diamond. Like it's a conversation. It's a beautiful conversation where we're both like staring each other down and we're kind of watching each other. Blah blah blah. I can go 1 and 2 against them, but then if I get one of my friends that's like anywhere between bronze to silver and they just they kind of play like an ape. They randomly DP. Like I get blown up and I lose and I'm so fucking salty. Like I was trying to shimmy my friend the other night. I had the setup down. I was just ready for it, and he would just wake up and DP me, and I'd fall for it every time. And then afterwards, my first thought was, why didn't I bait it? If I knew it was there, why didn't I just stand there and block
did
and
they do
punish him?
EX DP or they just
Yeah, like one of my friends, like he plays a few different characters, and he was playing Ed that night, and I have a pretty decent handle on that matchup. I was anti-airing like semi-sufficiently. It had been a long time, so I was just tired and I wasn't really on. And then I was trying to like throw bait him, and he was teching everything, but then he would just dash up and throw me, and I'd fall for it. And then I get him in the corner, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna shimmy him because he keeps teching, so I could shimmy him. But instead, he would just EX Psycho Upper every single time. And I was so mad at myself because I was like, why didn't I just like stand there, block, punish him? And I think it's just because emotionally I was just like, you know what, like I'm mad and I'm not playing right,
and like it's also what setup did you do? Like there should be time, like say you get the right knockdown, you should be able to like walk up and just walk away, like that's one way, or you delay your throw. Like those are two good things to bait DPs.
How do I well, I was just gonna so I had him in the corner, and I knew that if I dashed up, he would expect me to throw him. So I was gonna throw out EX Aurora Spin Edge, the EX Slice, because that's throw invincible. But he didn't wake up and tech a throw. He just Psycho up, and I think it's just because he saw me dashing up, So he made the right read. It worked every time.
Right.
But I could have dashed up and blocked.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it at the time.
I think doing dash up block is really good. But one thing that might have happened too, depending on the character, is like sometimes if you dash on something that's negative, you can get punished by the uppercut. So you might have even just dashed and then got punished by EX uppercut. Like say you were still probably mid dash before you could jump.
Yeah.
So what it sounds like you did is like you did throw and then you dash. So like if you did that, that's definitely negative, and you're gonna get punished by uppercut. So make sure that your setups. Oh shit! What the fuck? Who's calling me? Hold on. Give me 1 sec. Sorry.
No problem. I actually got to pee. So
okay, great.
Right back.
Let's edit that. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, guys, if you're listening to this, remember breathing is important. It's not just the game. But you do need to know a lot of things about the game, or else everything will be too overwhelming. No matter how hard you focus on mental things, if you don't dedicate a lot of time to the game, you're just always going to have fun. Side note. And now we wait for Sarah, who is in the party.
It's go time.
Okay.
What up?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. So now let's just go over basic punishes, since you said you had a hard time with punishes.
I do.
What do you think is your worst defensive habit, real quick?
Let's do this.
My worst defensive habit?
Hmm?
Let's see. So you mean when I'm on the defense?
No, when you're not. Yeah, when you're knocked down.
When I'm knocked down, I jump on wake up a lot. I've been very vigilant about that, so I've been trying not to do that. But I either like, I think I just like I jump a lot on wake up, and I'll try to wake up like with my 3-frame, like you were telling me, not to do so much.
Yeah.
I do that.
Okay. So you're saying you hold up on wake up a lot, and then you also mash like kick, right? So,
yeah.
So those are good to do sometimes, but like,
not predictably, because that's easy to.
That's the next thing I was getting at. Is like, I have a hard time with this too, but this is something that everyone needs to work on, and it's important to keep in mind. Is that like, good defense means like you are mixing up your defense. Like if you're
writing that down.
If you're doing a lot of the same things over and over. Carolyn's freaking taking a picture of me. But
Aww.
Anyways.
Tell her hi.
Said hi.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Carolyn.
So yeah, good defense is about like. Oh, Carolyn, leave me alone. So defense is like, what's important about defense is like, if you're not mixing it up, like you're gonna have a hard time. Like I was in Japan.
Yep.
Like 2 weeks ago, and like my neutral was good against Daigo. Like I was playing a 1st to 5, and like I lost. And he told me the reason why I lost was he said I had too few like defensive measures, right? So like whenever he got in, I wasn't thinking about defense, so I just kept teching a lot. Like I was just so focused on my game plan, like in neutral, that like I didn't think about what to do on defense or what I was doing. Like I was just
like you were kind of just like stuck in your way.
Yeah, like I was just I was in autopilot, and I just kept doing fucking tech. So like because it's Guile, like I keep forgetting, like, you know, he has upside down kick, and like of course they're gonna do that.
Oh yeah. I just think
of like how to deal with the booms, but like once he gets in, like I just wasn't thinking about that, and then I kept teching for some reason. I don't know why, but I would say that's why that happened, is because I was only focused on how to deal with the neutral game, right? Which is
like that was kind of like a smoke screen, so he was getting everything else.
Yeah, and then I would get hit by that, and then lose like 30%, and then I'm dealing with the boom wall again.
Yeah.
So it's like having good defense is really important, but having good defense means you have to keep mixing it up. So like say like you tech one time, sometimes it's good just to block. Like a lot of the times with you, especially mid screen, you should just block, because you taking the throw, I know it's a meme, but it's actually like it became a meme because someone, I believe it was Michael Nah, but like he just kept saying,
oh, I love
yeah, I love Mike. So like say like you get thrown, you should take the throw mid screen, but like in the corner, people just forget, like they just think it's a meme, but like in the corner sometimes you do have to take the throw, but you have to be smart about it. Like say like,
so wake up backdash, is that sometimes a good
I think
mixed in defensive option?
I think it depends on what you get knocked down by. Like say like you get hit by throw, that's kind of okay to backdash, but like say like I'm like right in front of you, it's too easy to like meet you, and then like
Yeah.
you'll get hit trying to backdash, and that's almost like the same. That's almost like the same as you doing wake up jump. So we want to
Yeah.
kind of steer you away from that. So yeah, I think in the corner it just depends. Like there's stuff called like fuzzy jump, which is really good too. Like say you get thrown.
What is it? Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is super advanced, but it's not hard to execute. So like it's worth mentioning, you know.
Okay.
Fuzzy jump means like you're blocking a frame and then you're jumping forward. So basically like you want to practice like blocking like the first like frame, first like 1, 2 or 3 frames. Like basically you're just hitting tap down and then you jump. So what I do is like I know the timing of my jump or like of my wake up. So like I'll just like for a fuzzy jump, I'll just like when I'm waking up I know the timing, so like I'll just crouch block for a second and then jump. So you mostly just want to crouch block and then jump. So like say
Okay, knock me down. Let me try this.
say I throw you
Uh-huh.
and then I come up. Yeah, you know how to quick it up and back it up?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so quick it up. Make sure you time it. Yeah. There you go. So fuzzy jump.
Okay, that was...
Yeah, fuzzy jump requires you to block right as you get up. And one thing you can do to practice this on your own is like say you're playing like let's say you play Cammy. You want to do like spiral, like close, and then dash, crouch jab, throw, and then mix up like spiral, dash, throw. So
spiral into like a tick throw, pretty much.
Yes, and then but what that does is it helps you learn to like time your wake ups. Like you'll see like, oh, this is when I got knocked down, and this is exactly when I can get up. So like, say someone does a knockdown on you, you know how to time your quick get up, and then you know when to block. So like those are important things to know, like exactly.
Oh yeah, I don't know that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, not intimately, no.
It's good to know pretty intimately. Like I think it's really important to know your wake up timing, so you at a higher level it's really important. Like it's super.
Yeah.
It's hard to articulate, but like it's really important for things like the delay jump timing. There's stuff like backdash check, like those kind of things revolve around like you knowing your wake up timing. You don't have to get too advanced with that, but right now, but like what you should focus on is like basic stuff, like just write down like Cammy, spiral, dash, throw, Cammy, spiral, dash, crouch jab, throw, and then time that on quick get up. So
spiral, dash, and then crouch jab, throw,
and then also mix up just throw. Because like it'll help you deal with someone making you block on wake up and then someone throwing you on wake up. So like
okay, spiral, dash, crouch jab, throw, and what was the other one?
Spiral, dash, throw.
Spiral, dash, throw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's good to know your wake up timings like that. Delay jump's a little complicated, but we'll get basically to like what you should be doing like mid screen. So like, or not mid screen, but in the corner. Actually, I got a little too sidetracked. So basically, to summarize, what I was getting at is when you are knocked down mid-screen, it's good to take the throw because if they throw you, they get no pressure. Like you're away from. And if they keep pressuring you, like they say, like you're playing against Karen, they keep doing like crouch medium punch, and you're just blocking.
Sure.
You're just blocking.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to like block a few medium punches and then backdash. Like you should focus on doing that just to get away from them.
Yeah.
And then it also makes it so they can't just get extra gray health with mediums and then walk up and throw you. So
right.
Because that's another thing a lot of people do is like they're either gonna throw you or they get a little greedy and they try and like shave some gray health off you.
Yeah.
And then throw you. A lot of people do that.
You said it was her stand was it Karen's stand
It's
medium
her.
punch or her
It's
crouch?
her crouch medium punch because that one's +3, and then so Cammy is the stand medium punch because hers is +3, but Karen's is more messed up because when she does crouch medium punch, she has such like little pushback, and then she's also +3 that she can just keep kind of walking up and doing that, and then go up and throw you. So I think it's more. I guess it's more specific to Karen, but it also applies to like really good medium, like crouch or stand medium punch pressure kind of characters like
Right.
Cammy, Kuma, Karen, even Sakura, those kind of things. So yeah, I think taking the throw is good mid screen in the corner. Sometimes so it depends. Like say I throw you in the corner and I walk up and I throw you.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're trying to evade like a throw, you'll end up getting punished by the walk up throw as you're backdashing, because backdash is kind of like are weird in this game and they kind of just like dissipate real quickly. So try and like I'm gonna throw you and then I want you to backdash and then hit throw. See how I just like I legit
just grab me.
I legit yanked you out of your backdash. So like that's why you don't want to. It's kind of character specific. I think what's a good tactic in the corner is like, of course you need to mix all these up, because if you do one thing, they'll most likely counter it the next time. So like it's important to keep that mind game in mind, that like if I do this thing, they'll probably counter it the next time, or like they'll assume that I'm gonna do it again and then they'll counter it. But it's up to you to be like, okay, you expected this, maybe I'll just like, I don't know, just do something else, like block or take a throw or delay a button, like stuff like that. Like just try and think of the counter to their counter. Like what's the counter to like, oh, like say like I got away with pressing a button right here before they walked up and throw me. The counter is block, so it's like stuff like that. So you want to keep that.
Okay.
You want to
like that.
Yeah, you want to keep that in mind as you're playing. Like if you do one thing, you can't do it twice, basically. Like that's a good rule of thumb in general. Like if one thing worked one time, it most likely won't work again.
Right. Like I started realizing that with if I jump in or I dash up and I claw switch and I throw, it always works. It always if it's someone I've never played before who doesn't know me, it always works the first time, and I never go for it because I know they're probably not going to fall for it. Like best case scenario, they tech. Worst case scenario, they interrupt the pressure, and then maybe they counter hit me and kind of get a big damage setup off that. Like,
right. So that applies. You're applying that to like pressure, which is good too. But defense too. Don't forget that. Okay. Like it's really important in really everything you do in this game. Like your neutral, your defense, your offense, just don't do the same thing twice, and then try and really think of different routes for you to go.
So like, okay, you were saying in mid screen, it's better to just block and take the throw as Vega, and then in the corner we discussed, okay, like the back dash doesn't really work because you can throw me out of the dash.
Right. So let's go over that real quick.
In the corner, what should I do?
Okay, so like I was trying to explain that in a way, but it gets complicated. So like
I know there's a lot of layers to it.
Yeah, so let's just keep it simple. So what is the general mind game when people throw you in the corner? What do you think?
They want me to wake up and tech.
What else could there be?
They want me to wake up with a button so they can crush counter or counter it and take their turn.
There you go. So people are either trying to put you in ghetto 50-50s, right? Like they're either trying to hit you pressing a button on wake up, or they're trying to hit you or they're trying to hit like throw you. So never mind. We'll just do. So like one thing you can do is like use like delayed jab. So
okay, how do I do that?
So that's why I was saying like knowing your timing of like when you get up is really important. And it's like, because if you don't have that timing down, you're gonna just kind of like flail around and just get hit. So it's really important off like not just like the cami dash throw. Like say like just practice like dealing with scenarios when you get up from the throw. It's like also write down like where you wrote down the cami stuff to like write down to like practice dealing with people's throws in the corner. Like record the dummy walking up and throwing you, or just hitting a button, or like just taking a little step forward and hitting a button. Like a good scenario is like say like I'm Vega I'm either gonna walk up hard and throw you to take advantage of you not, or like, say you're too scared to press a button, so I just try and walk up and throw you, or I walk up a little shorter and to count like frame trap you pressing a button to hit my walk up, right? So
Okay.
to kind of counter that, you hit the delay jab, because the delay basically means like you're blocking on wake up for a second and then doing a jab. So instead of just doing wake up jab, you're doing like block and then jab.
Should it be crouch or standing?
It's gonna be crouched because like
Crouch.
you're defending in the corner, so like it's good to like just crouch and then delay jab.
Delay, crouch. And then, so you were saying I need to be more closely familiar with how long it takes me to rise, like in quick rise. How do I learn how do I learn the timing of that?
That's why I said the cami stuff. You need to
Okay.
you need to do that against Vega. Like set the computer to do, you know, cami spiral dash throw,
Okay, got it.
cami
Set that.
spiral dash jab throw, because that'll help you time your blocks and it'll help you time your wake up,
Time
those kind of
over.
things. And then that's why I also said practice in the corner just different wake up timings when you get thrown in the corner. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Because that'll help you learn your timing when you're in the corner.
Yeah. Where I find myself quite often.
Yeah, we all do. So it's just the nature
Yeah.
of the game. So,
It is.
but that's why you need to. That's why you need to work on these things, because if you don't work on these, it's just gonna keep being a problem. But it'll
Right.
still be a problem no matter what you do. But as long as you keep in mind what you're presenting to your opponent, it helps you keep track of the mind game, right? That's going on. Like,
That's good.
yeah, it's
What you're presenting to the opponent.
yeah. Like if you keep waking up with a button, you're gonna get hit over and over, and then
Yeah.
you're just gonna get frustrated because you got stunned, and then oh, what did I do?
Yeah.
And then like, but you need to like. That's why like just knowing a lot more options that you have in the corner is good, because that's usually where we lose. So you might guess wrong with the delay jab, you might guess right, you know, but those things are important, you know. So like, say I throw you, yeah. Let's see if you're really doing it. Alright, so let's go.
Oop.
Yeah, so the delay jab, you need to practice in training mode, because I'm hitting you as if you're just doing wake up jab. So
Yeah.
so
Okay.
it's like you need to be blocking. Remember the first frame, like, so when you get up, it should be like a block and then a jab. So like the way I think of it is like keep in mind, and like also in like the muscle memory you'll be developing, like that timing for
Yeah.
wake up jab. So like you'll feel like, okay, I blocked for a frame and then immediately you'll jab. So like it'll be like a seamless jab, like right after you block, you know.
So should I not be mashing the EX punch button, like
EX
to
punch.
quick rise?
You should be. I hit the top 3, so that's what I do. I hit the top.
You do top 3 instead of the 3 button, because I play on A.
You play on pad.
Oh no, I play on stick.
Okay, so
Do you play on stick?
I play on the default setting. Yeah. So you want to, yeah, I tap the 3 buttons. I do it like 2 or 3 times. That's it. I just tap them 2 or 3 times, and then if I'm doing the like delay wake up, or if I'm doing the back roll, same thing. I do it 2 or 3 times. I usually just do it 2 times, because usually 2 times is like usually all you need, and then you're also like saving energy because you're not just like, you know, mashing.
Round
Or
one.
having muddy inputs. Yeah.
It's also muddy inputs. I like clean inputs. So like,
Same.
so yeah, 2, just 2. Like, so like you get knocked down, you know the timing of when you get knocked down, and then it's just 2 from there. Oh,
I'm doing it too late, I think.
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
It's basically like as soon as you get knocked down, you're good. Let me let your stun go down.
Okay.
All right, one more time.
All right.
That was 3. I heard it, but it's okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you'll get used to it. Like practice this,
Like that.
practice this in training mode too. Like that's important. So
Definitely. I mean, I can always like play this back and listen because I heard your button presses. So like, if I'm hearing it, it helps.
Yeah, exactly. So, so knock me down. Hit me with sweep.
Okay. Alright, here I come again. Alright.
It's almost instant. As soon as I'm reacting to like, oh shit,
Da-da.
it's like as soon
Da-da.
as I'm reacting that I got knocked down. It's just 2 from there. Cool. Yeah. So as soon,
Ooh, and he's out. Yeah.
so just react and then get out. And then so sometimes it's okay to jump out of the corner because most of the time like people can't really convert off meeting you from that far away. Like say
Do you recommend the oops, the out of the counter wall jump?
I think
or
the
just
wall jump's better
corner?
because
Yeah?
you,
Round 2.
that's really good because even though he I think Vega might have actually let's see. So there's Zeku, there's Rashid, there's Chun-Li, and there's Vega. Right? I think that's all of them. And then I think Vega has like his is better than Chun-Li, I think. But yeah, his is not too bad. But I think yeah, wall jump's good. So like say you get thrown, try and do the wall jump. Yeah, that one's good. Because it's also hard to uppercut you that way.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It's also hard, like say Akuma does back fierce. It's hard for Akuma to back fierce you doing that one.
That was, you're saying double tap it once I hit the ground?
Yeah. Well, as soon as you
or-
react to like, oh, I'm on the ground. Yeah.
Shit. Or I was like... yeah, see, it doesn't... Like, I don't know. I think I'm still late or something.
Maybe.
I'm
But
trying to react.
don't worry. You can practice this on your own. And like
Yeah.
remember, it's those scenarios I was telling you. Like you got thrown. And just practice like set up 3 different things in training mode. You know how like there's a recording number 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Record like I don't know. Just do the Vega mirror. So like do like Vega, walk up throw, walk up medium punch. Those 2. Like you just need to record
Okay.
those 2 actually, and then that'll help you time blocking. That'll just help you time your wake. That'll help you find your wake up timing, and it'll help you what's it called? It'll help you find your wake up timing, and it'll help you see what they can do. It's like it'll help train your eye like to counter it, like with like the delay jab we were talking about, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So throw, and then like walk up medium punch. Like that's not a good frame trap. This one's probably like a good frame trap. One's better or something. But I'm just trying to like come up with a general scenario that is like it's either walk up throw or walk a little step and then medium punch. Like I'm either walking up a little bit or a lot and throwing you. Because I'm just trying to scare you into not pressing jab so I can walk up through. But when you do delay jab, it helps you block that button, and then it helps you to stop them from doing walk up throw. Like throw me in the corner, and then try and walk up and throw me. Yeah.
Ooh, there it
Yeah,
is.
go. Something like that.
Wow. Okay. Whoa.
So like that, you could even do that. Like say, so I kind of like his standing normal is better than his crouching one. So like sometimes you can just block. Like for a second, like say you throw me.
Oops. Yeah.
It is a little harder to time it, but I think it is worth learning.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm definitely gonna have it. Like, and at least if I can't quite crack it right away, I can come back to you and be like, okay, I think this is where I have to hang up here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Just let me know.
yeah.
So
Of
go ahead and
course.
throw. Okay, good. See, I didn't delay it.
Ah. Okay. So like in this situation, should I be holding forward to come throw you?
Yes.
Or okay, and
You're just trying to reach
to
him.
cover the to cover the spacing.
You're just trying to reach him.
And that's why your delay, like your quick rise and then your delay jab,
Mm-hmm.
is stopping me because I'm walking.
Yes, and then I get counter hit, so I can do a button into a medium, which you normally can't do. You see what I mean? Like, cause like I hit you with the delayed stand light kick into crouch strong, and
Yeah.
that shouldn't work unless I get counter hit. But because you're walking up and throwing me, I can counter hit you.
Right, because I'm giving up, pretty much giving up my advantage by walking.
Exactly.
So.
But that's where the mind game comes in. Like, oh, do I needy him?
Are
Now.
they gonna do that or not? Yeah, and like I think sometimes I just like I autopilot, and that's why when I play really well, it's when I'm thinking during the match, and then there are times where and I know we all autopilot, but there are times where I just kind of I'm already like, okay, I'm just gonna rely on this because for some reason I'm not able to reach back into my brain and think of something else. Like, but I mean, what I autopilot with now, it's mostly normals. As opposed to when I first started playing, I just slid and did FBA all the time, and wondered why I never won.
Why are they blocking my slides and?
They're blocking. They're
Barcelona?
anti-airing, right?
Oh, they air-dared me. Fuck. Do it again.
Oops. You're right.
So there are some ways where you can fuck with them. Like you can do it early, but like I don't want.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I don't want to teach you that. It's fucking stupid.
No, you do.
No.
We don't want some bullshit. I deserve it. Come on.
No.
Low tier.
Boom. But yeah, so those kind of defensive measures are really important.
Yeah.
So what was I gonna say? So yeah, that's good for now. Work on those things. Work on like when you play people, like try and like slowly drain them, like with the anti-airs and like medium punches and stuff. Like, but have a purpose. Like treat your buttons like a fireball. Like that's a good way to think of it. As like think of it as like people perceive Vega as like always having access to throw instant fireballs, and it scares them. So like they're gonna try and jump. And mostly they'll try and jump it first. So try and focus on anti-airing. If you let a dash go by, it's okay. You can like try and buffer the next time. Just don't let them continuously get away with it. Like make them have to mix it up, right? And sometimes you can be a little oppressive. I guess like if you dash, I want you to do like I don't know, like it's weird because I don't want to recommend you to dash because there's certain times to dash, and we'll get over that later. But like focus on like playing solid, and like this will help you win. And then when you're in, you can like mix up your throw. Bad players, I would say just media them, like or delay throw. Like if you're scared, like you're playing like a random Ryu. Yeah. I would say like maybe delay throw at first just to check them, and then you can maybe pressure them a lot when people get baited, like they feel like they can't uppercut anymore. So like you're either you have to distinguish like is this a guy that learns, or is this a guy that's like it is just gonna get frustrated and keep doing the same thing. Right. That'll help you decide if you should media or not. Because if they're gonna just keep uppercutting, you're gonna win by just doing delayed throw like after you knock them down, because they're just gonna uppercut, you kill them. Go ahead.
Yeah, how do I delay throw again? Like, you're teaching me the jab, but I've never known.
Like, say, one thing you can do when you get Oki, when you have certain Oki setups, you go up to them, and then instead of throwing, you delay throw. So, like, look, I'm not sure what Vega's knockdowns are. Like, the super solid ones, I'm pretty sure it's off heavy kick, Barcelona. Not Barcelona, the crystal roll. That's like
heavy,
that's where you get Oki. So like that's where you can do your delay throw. But just remember, like you can't do it like after a throw in the corner. Like remember how you said like you got hit by uppercut, and then I was thinking that you might have got punished by uppercut because you dashed. Like if you do heavy kick crystal roll, you should always get dash into anything. You should get dash into throw, dash into delay throw. But if you throw in the corner, you can't just dash and throw them because you're negative. I think you're negative enough to get punished by their uppercut. Like I don't think Vega has a good post throw into dash. Like he doesn't have a good post throw mix up, So yeah, I would say if you're trying to delay jab, do it after, or delay throw, do it after they get hit by a heavy kick crystal roll combo or slide. So those are the two main ones to practice like delayed throw. Like you can even do that in training mode. So like write this down. So this will be the last thing I
Yeah.
tell you
Okay.
for this week or this part. When you do you can practice delay throw by doing heavy kick crystal roll. Like I think you have to combo off. I forget. I think it might be stand
Medium
medium
punch.
Yeah, stand
You
medium
can
punch.
do stand heavy punch with claw or stand medium punch without claw.
Okay, good. So that, and then you dash and you throw them, or you delay throw, and you can set the computer
Yeah.
to do wake up EXDP, and then practice that, and then that'll help you work on the timing to delay your throw. Okay.
That's awesome. Okay, that is super helpful.
And that or slide, but I want you to practice doing it off heavy kick.
Heavy kick roll. Our life told me yesterday, like some of his neutral pressure he was recommending was like you do 2 stand medium punches. It's a frame trap, and if they block, you do stand medium punch and then dash throw.
That's good too. I think that's not bad. Is it he talking about in no claw mode?
Oh, that's with claw. You could probably do it without, but like we were talking like on that same whole like stand medium punch with claw is like his best fireball. You can't cancel anything. You can stance out of it, but it's not as plus as stand heavy punch. So with stand medium punch with claw, because of the range, you can just like poke, and then if they start to block, you do another one, dash up and throw. And you could do both of them in crouching. So there's like I think and like you were saying, deviate with timing so that it's not super predictable and they're not looking for whiff punish or a chance to
exactly. So like
counter
say
hit.
just remember, don't like, even though our Laya said this is good, like try and not do it too much. Like mix up your timing. Like a good rule of thumb to think too is like when you do the stand medium punches, you don't have to just dash and throw, because you can also just take a little step back and then come back in, because when you take that step back, you avoid like their reversal buttons. Like say like
Yeah.
a lot of people will like for instance say like Cammy has V trigger. A good autopilot thing a lot of Cammies do is like they'll block 2 buttons, which is usually pretty far, and then they'll do delayed crouch heavy punch because they're like, oh, like I have this little timing where I can press a button, and then they do delayed crouch heavy punch into V trigger. Like that's a common thing.
Okay.
And then a lot of people do that too with like their crush counters. Like Karen will do like delayed roundhouse because like, oh, I have timing. Like there's a gap here. They sense weakness or something, or like they sense like they can do it. But you can use that as like a bait. You can like take a step back, whiff punish them with sweep, or come back in when they're scared to press a button. It's good to walk in when they're scared to press a button. Like say say you walk back, like your purpose should be like, do they press a button? Okay, I'll sweep. I'll sweep with punish them. But if they're scared to press that button now, you can take a step back and then walk in and like just keep pressuring them again, like just whittle them down with medium punches. Or you can get real close and try and throw them when they're too scared. Some people can like even walk up shimmy, like they'll walk, like say someone's really scared to do anything, they'll come in and then they'll walk in and walk out. Like that's a really good time to shimmy, is like when they're too scared to press a button. But you have to make them scared by doing
Exactly. You have to give them a reason to be afraid.
Yeah, and that's how you should see like offense. Like try and see like what they're doing, and then it helps you decide what you should do in those moments the next time, because you're like, okay, this guy pressed a button here, I gave him room to do so, I'm gonna sweep and then punish him. Like,
okay.
And then next time, oh, they're scared, so like I'm gonna take a step back and act like I'm gonna do it again, and then you come in. So it's like you're kind of faking them out, like, oh, I might do it again, and then but
I like that.
But you're already keeping it. You've conditioned them, so it doesn't really matter if they're aware of it. Even if they're not aware of it, like they're still being conditioned. So like that, those are the best times when. That's how people get really lost, is when you're playing them, is like they'll just forget what is going on, and then it's happening to them. But it's like
that's what happens to me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but they can't control it. Like it's gone too far, and it's like spiraled out of control. So like So like being aware of those times, like what's happening to you, is good to help you understand how you should approach it. And then
Absolutely.
and then that's also good to know how to deal with people in general, like how to oppress them, I guess, or just make them feel like they can't do anything. Yeah.
Trap them. Yeah.
Trap them. And then Sarah, that's where we'll call it for today. It was
Awesome.
a pleasure meeting you. Like
Likewise.
we met before, but we didn't really talk. So like this is like
For like a second,
Yeah.
yeah, when I was probably talking to Carolyn,
You were.
and
Yeah,
was
and I
like,
was-
"Oh wow, you're 8 foot tall, man. Just walk."
I remember that, and then I was gone. And so like
Yeah,
so
like a ghost.
it's like a ghost, like a white ghost. I know. But so yeah, pleasure meeting you. If you have questions, just let me know, and then I'll see you next time. Okay.
Yeah. What do you just on the final note for this session? What are I should practice what we talked about, and then should I just look up some of Jimmy's like online matches and kind of watch him, and then ask you questions about it?
Exactly. So I think you should
Okay.
look him up, look up even Doomsnake, whatever, but look them up and then
Yeah.
pick a matchup that like let's say you struggle with at like your local or something,
Sure.
or and like just see how they approach it, and then like you can even send it to me, and I can try and look at it, or we can just watch it when our next session is. Okay.
Oh, awesome.
All right. That sounds good. Yeah. We'll spend
Thank
more
you so
time.
much.
We'll spend more time next session watching stuff. Okay.
Perfect. That sounds great.
All right, Sarah. I'll see you next time. Okay.
Yep. I'll talk to you.
All right, take care.
Bye.